What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and today we're going to be streaming episode 1 of the new franchise simulation series that we're going to be running here, where I take hold of the New York Yankees as their new general manager to try to go ahead and rebuild this team into a World Series winner. So we're going to get started here on this stream. Now, what we're going to do right off the bat is there's a few things with the settings that we're going to do. We're going to skip right to the regular season. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn off the trades because we want to sim through the 2022 campaign. So as you see, I have them off with the injuries off. We want to simulate through the beginning of the year because in reality, when we look at the way that the 2023 offseason is going to progress, that's how we're really going to have to kind of have things playing out. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through the regular season. And I'm just going to kind of ignore all this stuff. And even though I turned injuries off, there's still injuries. Go figure. So we're basically going to get started with the 2023 season. So we got to simulate through all of 2022 so we can get to the actual off season, be able to go ahead and get everything going here. Auto. It's already a couple of injuries for Albert Abreu. It's concerning. All right. So skipping through everything. All right. All right. Actually, nope. Keep going. All right. So we're coming up on the end of the season here, and Yankees are actually doing pretty good this year. All right. So the Yankees have finished a season at 104-8, won the division, and they'll be taking on the White Sox. So let's just kind of take a look. We'll skip all these notifications from all the stuff in the season. And we're going to take a look. League leaders, Garrett Cole with the strikeouts. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had the most doubles. That's funny. Judge with home runs, RBIs, runs scored. Nice. Clay Holmes, delivery man of the year. Sevy and Judge with gold gloves. And Hank Aaron award winner is Judge. So he just missed out on being the MVP to Yordan Alvarez. So, all right. So we're going to fast forward through the postseason. The Yankees have been eliminated by the White Sox. Astros defeat the Braves in the 2022 World Series. So let's go ahead and advance to the offseason. First base coach. Well, we're, as you'll see in a moment, we're going to go ahead and just get rid of just about the entire coaching staff. So like to run through and just kind of take a look at the guys that are leaving through retirement. See who's on this list. Andrew McCutchen. Yachty, yeah. So Robinson Cano. Alcides Escobar. Neftali Feliz. Cole Hamels. So quite a few names of note that are calling it a career at this point. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to go past that. Cano getting into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's not happening. Cano's career was on a Hall of Fame trajectory until the PEDs. So now we are in the off season of the 2022-2023, heading towards the 23 campaign. And as I said, we're going to just revamp pretty much everything about this team. And yeah, so I like to go through and see what managers are out there that have the entire list of positives. So when we have these kind of guys, these kind of managers, coaches, I'll run through and I'll give a few different ones that have all these positives, different offers, just to be able to try to get one of them. Now, with the managers as well as the farm directors, they're the same pool of players or same pool of managers, coaches, options. So that's something to bear in mind, as well as the first and third base coaches. So we're going to go through and just try to take a look at all of these, try to get some options here to be able to really boost this team in a different way, because things aren't working. So we have to make sure that we go ahead and start changing some things up, try to get ourselves back to the World Series. It's of the utmost importance. That's what this whole thing is about. If you're not trying to win the World Series, what are you trying to do? All right, so we're going to go through these coaches. Like I said, I like to give a couple of them an offer, and whichever first one takes it first, that's the one that gets the job. So, all right, so let's see. Okay. All right, so I think everything's been offered, yeah, except for farm director, but I wonder if I do as farm, not interested in that contract. Yeah, funny. I'd have to go crazy over. All right, well, we'll just do that. Let's see, 4 million. Yeah, all right, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we also have, obviously, Judge to extend a qualifying offer to. We're going to try to sign him. Obviously, Judge is the most important thing for the Yankees this offseason, both in this game and in real life. All right, now, Sevy is looking for 24 for 5 years. Now, I'd really have to bump up his offer to 8 or 9 years to be able to really get him to sign off on that deal. So we're going to extend Sevy the qualifying offer. See what Tyone is looking for. Yeah, you're definitely not the ace, bro. And then let's see, Benintendi. Now, Benintendi is looking for something reasonable. So I might actually extend that offer. Now, the one thing is that you see we have $141 million in available budget. That's going to be towards everything and everybody. So extending contracts to players that aren't arbitration eligible, arbitration offers, as well as free agent signings. So with Judge, we're going to go ahead and we're going to offer 10-year. Actually, let's get crazy. Let's make sure that we re-sign Judge. 15 years. Yeah, it's going to be playing until he's 45. But, yeah, I mean, outside of that, I kind of want to see. I'm pretty sure Brandon Nimmo is going to become a free agent, so I do like the idea of getting Nimmo over a guy like Benintendi. I'm sure that there's going to be some other starters available, so we're going to kind of go ahead and sim through these first 5 days. All right, so most of our coaches have been accepted. So let's see where we are at right now. Okay, so Joe Madden prefers the Phillies offer. So why don't we do this? Let's bump it up to 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. $8 million for 4 years. And we'll see how that goes. So, all right, this is the last day for qualifying offers. And yeah, I mean, there's nobody else on that list that I'm really going to bat an eyelash over. All right, so tons of free agents now. Let's take a look and see who's available, who's out there. Obviously, Judge, Clint Kershaw, Aaron Nola. So quite a few guys available on this market right now. So let's take a look and just kind of figure out what we need. Obviously, a left fielder, a right fielder. We want another shortstop. I plan to keep IKF because I like his versatility as a bench player, but I don't want him as my everyday starting shortstop. And then when we look at the starting rotation, I need another 2 starters. I also would like to maybe get another quality bullpen arm in here, but we'll take a look and see what kind of options we have on stuff like that. Now, with these, obviously throughout the course of the offseason, there's certain dates you have to hit. So this date here is significant because we have to have our 40-man roster solidified. Otherwise, the players that are not on it that are Rule 5 eligible can be selected off the team. Here's final day to offer arbitration. So we're going to kind of go through and give ourselves a few days to be able to see what we can do out of that. So let's see. Tyler Anderson, Dodgers offering 3 years at basically $52 million. So 228 innings pitched, 2.25 ERA, WHIP of 0.93, and a FIP of 3.65. So he had a solid year. I tend to look more at FIP than I do like ERA. I think that when you look at what FIP is, so there's an opportunity for certain things to kind of get highlighted when you're looking at FIP because that's going to cover, so it's fielding independent pitching, what the pitcher controls, strikeouts, walks, and home runs. So those are the kind of things that obviously you want to look at. Aaron Nola, highest ERA of Anderson and highest FIP, and Sevy. Like I said, we do need another shortstop. Trey Turner. So the Dodgers are all right. So if we go 6 at 147, wonder the interest level that he'll have it at a deal like that. Not very much. So let's say 6 at 150. Because I do want a new shortstop. Dansby would also be a solid addition, I think. But yeah, 5 at 92. So if we go 5 at 95, see what we can do with that offer. All right, Sevy, we're going to go ahead. We're going to see if we can't lock you in. Let's go 8 and 185. Let's see. All right. Let's see what kind of year Ross Stripling had. 3.5, 3.34. A lot of these pitchers I'm not overly excited about on this market. I think that there are some guys who could potentially be sleeper picks. So let's see if we can't just bring Tyone back at 6 for 75. Seth Lugo to me is always an underrated bullpen arm. Oh, he had a bad year last year though. Not good. Yeah. Let's see. All these relievers did not have good years. Then obviously this one's going to cost a ton of money. And I don't really need a guy that high in price for the bullpen. All right, and then let's take a look at the outfield market. Jock Peterson. Really, Nimmo to me is the guy that I would want to go after, if not re-signing Benintendi. So he's looking for an everyday role. Let's see, 5 for 60. All right, and then so these are our own players. I want to try to see if we can't get some deals on these guys. So try to keep them as interested as possible while still getting myself a deal there. So let's see. I like to try to keep the interest level in the green just because I feel like if we can do that, then the reality of the situation is that we got a solid enough offer out there for them. So okay, well, that's funny how this worked out. Let's see what we can do there. Now, most of these on this offer contract section are like league minimum deals. So it's not like a super crazy high priced thing you got to deal with in terms of trying to re-sign these guys. So we'll see what it'll end up being at the end of these offers, because we're already now over our available budget. But the fact is that, you know, we're dealing with kind of expensive contracts for a guy like Trey Turner. We're also offering a deal to Dansby Swanson, you know, on top of the offers that we already have out for our own players. So, you know, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. So we want to try to see what we can get done on the more cost-effective side of things, see who we have. Not to mention, we do have some contracts on the books in Aaron Hicks, Josh Donaldson, and Giancarlo Stanton that honestly we're probably going to move at least 2 of those 3. So that's kind of the hack for this particular game, is that with these teams, with the budgets on, there are teams that have that kind of room to be able to support that. And the worst case scenarios is that we can also make moves to be able to get guys off the roster and get something back in return. So it may not be the greatest option, or, you know, an elite pitcher or something like that still, but it is somebody that we can bring onto the team to really be able to help us and help us grow. So make sure you keep it locked in to the Baseball Banter broadcast by hitting the subscribe button. You can follow us over on Twitter at banter_baseball. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Baseball Banter Broadcast. We're going to be doing this hopefully every Friday, so you can see this stream where we're running the New York Yankee franchise. If there's another franchise that you'd like to see me take over and try to build into a championship caliber team, a World Series winning team, let me know that down in the comments. Or you can find me or comment, leave me a message on any one of those other platforms as well. All right, now when it comes to these contract offers, I try to leave myself some room with the roster space that's available, because even though we're at 82 right now, there are some guys that we're looking to add. So definitely want to try to leave myself some room to be able to acquire some guys, because I'll tell you what, just from playing franchise mode on MLB The Show for as many years as I have, a lot of the time you can get some really legendary names for some absolutely ridiculously low prices at the end of the offseason. All right. So all we're waiting for now, coaching-wise, is our manager. We'll see how it goes between Joe Madden and Matt Blake. Aaron Judge re-signed, 15 years, $525 million. Alek Manoah re-signed. Brian Abreu re-signed. And Kyle Wright re-signed. So Zach Eflin, Kyle Gibson re-signed with the Phillies. I do tend to like looking at these different moves that get made by these teams. I think that it gives me a better sense of what teams have done this offseason. Obviously, it's a fictional season, but when we look at what this team has to offer, so right now, we haven't even offered arbitration to anybody yet, and we're already finding ourselves in a bit of a financial crunch. So we'll see how things kind of shake out. I'm wondering if... All right, let me see. Another guy that's usually a sleeper in this game, always has a terrible average, but usually hits for decent power, is Adam Duvall. Yeah. Plus, I like his versatility. First, third, left, center, right. He's got decent speed, solid glove, and he's usually not that expensive. Yeah. Now, the one issue with Duvall that the Yankees also find themselves having to deal with is it's another right-handed bat, which is part of the issue. So let me go back to... So let's see if we can't do 36. $36 for 5. Let's see. All right, so let's do 7 at 45 and see if he'll bite on that offer. All right, now we got to go through this arbitration stuff. Now, the thing with these arbitration cases is the reality of the situation, in all honesty, is when you're dealing with these cases, you can obviously offer them a contract and see which way it better benefits the franchise and the organization financially. Typically, anybody that stayed in AAA, you'll win those arbitration cases on this game. If they've played in the major leagues for any length of time, you're going to lose that case. So it's going to be, something that you'll have to kind of maneuver about. But let's see. Let's see if we can't just make something happen here with these guys. So let's see. All right. Okay. All right. So we're just going to kind of run through some of these guys we're going to give some money to. Some of these guys we're not going to really upgrade them at all. So most everybody I'm giving at least a couple $1,000 extra. All right, so we're just going to try to run through this real quick as we're coming towards the end of the stream. Actually, Ramon's going to go down. And the rest of these guys, we're just going to offer exactly what they had. And what I tend to do is, as the off season progresses and we kind of figure out some more financial room with, like I said, with the trades, then we kind of go from there and see about offering different players deals as opposed to the arbitration process. Because once we've had the offers submitted for arbitration, which now we have them all offered, it gives us time to still be able to negotiate with them after the fact. So now we've offered everybody what we needed to. We do have to set our 40-man roster. So the way I go about that is I just kind of move everybody that is eligible for the 40-man for the Rule 5 draft, and I add them to it that is in A or B grading, because those are typically the only ones that have any kind of real potential to get taken in the Rule 5 draft. So yeah, so outside of that, those are the only ones that really are in jeopardy. All right, Joe Madden accepted our offer. Nice. Okay, so all right. So now let's skip ahead a few days. A lot of people re-signing deals to avoid arbitration, and others to just re-up their regular contract. Let's see. Joe Ross signed with the Dodgers for $8 million. All right. All right, so got a few guys re-signed with us. All right, so we're going to sim through. Has decided to decline it, but we can still negotiate with him. Yes. Wilson Contreras re-signed with the Cubs. 4 years, $33.6 million. All right, so let's see as far as the offers that we have out, where we still stand. Yeah. Sevy might end up walking. Then we'll have to kind of refigure out where we're going. We got a lot of money out in offers, but not a lot in terms of the actual budget. So we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. Brandon Nimmo did sign. Awesome. So we got 5 years at $60 million. So let's go. All right. So now when we look at our lineup, put Judge right back there. We put Nimmo back here. Yep. So we got Nimmo in left, Judge in right. So now offensively, I feel like we're in a very good spot. As long as we can sign one of the two stops. In terms of the pitching side of things, we need 2 more starters. Like I said, there is some wiggle room, so I'm not overly worried about the budget right now, because the reality is that there's a ton of teams with, as you can see, how do the Dodgers have this much money on the book? Anyway, Stanton has $20 million contract. Aaron Hicks is $10 million. Josh Donaldson is $23 million. Like, I mean, we can get Mookie Betts and still save money with that one move. So there's some options to be able to play around with. So I'm not overly worried about that right now. We've offered arbitration to everybody. So let's sim through. Andrew Benintendi has accepted the Nationals offer. Good, because I didn't need to bring him back anyway. So now, all right, so let's take a look. All right, so Sevy re-signed. Nice. All right, that helps a lot, because now you're talking, we just need one. We need a fifth starter. So Tyone could be that guy, or we could also look to make some deals. So really need another shortstop. So if Turner or Dansby doesn't sign up with us, we can definitely make some moves with those three players that I spoke about in terms of being able to acquire a shortstop of some sort. So we'll have to wait and see how things kind of shake out with that. So as you can see, our projected surplus, $48.22 million. Our pending offers, including all the arbitration stuff, is at $121 million. So there's a lot of money still dangling out there. Obviously, if we get one of these shortstops, it will change all of that. But Tyone's no longer interested. Edwin Diaz. Okay, so that's an interesting thing there. Adam Ottavino re-signed for 1 year with the Mets. So quite a few things going down here. So I want to see, yeah, I feel like we can probably get one of these other guys. See, so yeah, like a Quintana. Let me see. Yeah, let me see what kind of offer he's looking for. So in the rotation, I'm going to bring this down to 25. Danny Duffy didn't pitch at all last season, so let me bring this down. Martin Perez. Not the greatest, but not the worst either. And like I said, we can also make moves to be able to acquire a pitcher via trade and things like that. So, all right, so we're gonna get through. All right, everybody's been tendered a contract, and this is the Rule 5 draft. So we're gonna get through. Let's sim through. Brandon Drury signs a 4-year, $31.6 million deal. The Yankees sign Dansby Swanson. The Cubs sign Ross Stripling. The Red Sox sign Tyone. Some big moves happening here. So Tyone 4 for 65.6. Stripling 2 years, 22.6. We got Dansby for the 5 years and 95. So now let's withdraw our offer to trade Turner. Perfect. So yeah, so still quite a lot out in terms of that, but we have some moves that we're able to make. All right, so now let's readjust this lineup because I really don't want Domingo Germán as my fifth starter. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So I think we have a really solid offensive core right here. And even if we move a guy like Giancarlo, I think that there's an opportunity for us to still be able to have a nice offensive core. Giancarlo is probably the last guy that I'm going to move in terms of Donaldson and Hicks. But we'll have to take a look and see. So free agent wise, got a couple of starters that we have offers out for. That's about it. Definitely not revisiting the Sonny Gray option. Yeah, Nola and Kershaw would just cost me way too much money. Chris Bassett had an okay season. Let's see what kind of offer he's looking for. I might be able to get him down to $8 million for 4 years. Let's see what he does with that offer. And reality is, I just need one of them to sign. All right, so we got to deal with the 40-man roster now. So let's start with Abreu, remove from the 40. So I'm going to fast forward a few days, see what kind of things have happened here. Nothing for us. Fast forward a few more. Nola signed with the Red Sox. They have revamped that pitching staff big time. 9 years, $297 million. Jock Peterson to the Pirates. That's interesting. Rafael Montero to the Guardians. All right. So we're going to get ourselves here through Kershaw to the Cardinals. Eovaldi to the Dodgers. Eovaldi 2 years, 48.2. Kershaw 1 year at 33.5. Let's go to the Rule 5 draft. Tyler Wade got snatched. Anthony Banda. Yeah, I'm not overly worried about this. Cool. We can exit that. Let's see. Roberto Perez, Kenley to the Phillies, Martin to the Rockies. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so we had Tyler Wade snatched by the A's. The Royals snatched Anthony Banda. All right. Will Myers to the Angels on a 1 year, $4.9 million deal. Austin Nola to the Cubs. And we saw Kershaw already. Roberto Perez, 1 year, $7 million with the Cardinals. Rangers, Brad Hand, 1.26. 1 year, 2.60, I should say. Michael Givens on a 1 year deal with the Marlins. The Phillies picked up Kenley Jansen on a year deal. Martin to the Rockies. That's interesting. Shane Green went to the White Sox. Yeah, we really didn't pursue him back. All right. So nothing too over the top right now. All right. So, like I said, we still got the 3 offers out now for the starters. To me, that's the only thing that we're really missing right now is another starter to have that 5th guy. Like I said, there's going to be an option for us to be able to kind of trade away what we have in Josh Donaldson and Aaron Hicks to recoup some money. Michael Conforto signed a 1 year deal with the Rockies. That's actually a really good fit. I think he can really go out there and mash the ball. All right, so we're going to... Bassett's no longer interested. So let's take a look at why. Yeah, so he's getting much bigger offers now. And that's what you'll start to see as it goes along is that you'll see these kind of higher priced guys really start to pick it up. All right, let's finish out the month here of, what is this, December. Danny Duffy's no longer interested. Yeah, as we figured. Bassett's still out there. Duffy's still out there. Yeah, our offer isn't really holding any kind of weight with these guys anymore. So we're going to have to approach, the trade market to acquire another starter. Bassett got picked up by the White Sox. Heaney to the Padres. Lorenzen to the White Sox. Austin Barnes to the Marlins. All right, so now we know what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to be able to go get another starter through the trade market. There really wasn't a lot of starters that I was too keen on to begin with, past our own guys. So, and once we get past these 3 here that are low 80s overall, really just doesn't become worth it to sign any of the rest of these guys at this point. These bigger named guys, Zach Greinke, Charlie Morton, Adam Wainwright down here, I can get them for $30,000 at the end of the offseason. So we're going to finish out the month of December. And next week, we'll pick up from January of 2023 through our arbitration cases, as well as trying to find a fifth starter. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you keep it locked in to the Baseball Banter broadcast by hitting the subscribe button on the YouTube channel down here, following us over at banter_baseball on Twitter, as well as over on TikTok and Instagram at Baseball Banter Broadcast. If you want to recommend another team that I should run through as the general manager, let me know that down in the comments below, and we'll put together a stream for that as well. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you keep it locked in. Check us out next week as we are continuing to try to turn the Yankees back into the World Series champion.